Hello class, my name is Nicole Miller and today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a lesson plan and what should be on your lesson plan. There's a list of different components that entails a lesson plan. First one being your learning community. You should know whether you're going to be in an urban, suburban, or rural area. You should also know the demographics, including the school district you're going to be teaching in and what grade level, whether that be elementary school, middle school, or high school. You should also know whether you're going to be a self-contained teacher, a team teacher, block teacher, whatever teaching suits you. Next, you should also know the classroom arrangement and the seating. This is going to help you decide whether you want to teach in groups or individually. The next component is going to be materials and resources. You should use a variety of different resources. List all materials, and if you use websites, you should provide links and a brief synopsis of what all these different websites are about. A sample of every example you use should also be put in the back of your lesson plan. Next is going to be safety. You should include safety concerns and precautions specific to your lesson. If and when it's necessary, you should have the students sign a paper or write a short statement showing that they know how to use safety equipment if it's necessary and when it's necessary. An example would be if you are teaching a science class and you have an experiment with liquids that could burn your eyes, you need to know that your students know where the goggles are and that they know how to use the goggles. The next important thing on your list is going to be the TEKS and TAKS. Be sure that your lesson follows a subject-specific and a technology-specific TEK. Technology is very big in classrooms nowadays, and we need to make sure that we're incorporating it properly. After TEKS and TAKS, you should have your instructional objectives. These are objectives for your lesson that should be clearly defined. It'll help you determine what students should take away from this lesson. After that, you have your anticipatory set. This is where you activate prior knowledge and make connections. You're setting the stage by digging into your students' prior knowledge and making them connect what you're teaching with their prior knowledge. This is where you outline what you want to say so you're properly prepared. Next, you're going to have your input/procedure instruction. This is where you introduce your question or the content that you're going to be teaching in this lesson. You should give a clear objective, purpose, and strategies. This is how you'll present your information to your students. You should use various methods, such as video, real-life examples, books, whatever you deem fit. Being creative in this area could help engage your students a little better. After that is the input and procedure modeling. This is where the instructor demonstrates whatever you're going to be teaching. You explain the skills, activity, and strategies that you are wanting your students to perform for you. After that is going to be guided practice. This is where you work together with your students through something like a paper. Say you're in a math class and you hand your students a sheet from a book or that you created on your own, and you are working on the worksheet up on the board while your students are working on the same worksheet at their desks. This is where they kind of follow along with you. Next is going to be the independent practice. This is where students work on their own work and have their own assignments to complete. You are there to provide positive feedback and help with any questions that your students may have. This is where you can see whether your students have absorbed the information you've been giving to them. An important part is going to be your assessment. This is where students show skill mastery of sorts on what was taught. This is where the teacher gives positive feedback, corrective feedback, and constructive feedback. If it's necessary, the next step is reteach. When a reteach is necessary, you should break down your lesson into progressive learning targets. Understand where the students have messed up or need more assistance in the learning. Know what steps need to be taken in order to get your students to where they should be, grade-wise. You should also encourage your students to set goals to help develop self-efficiency. As we come to more of a close, you're going to be working on enrichment/extension projects. Enrichment is based on a topic that a student is interested in. For example, if you want your students to write a paper on somebody they admire, whether that be in their lives or someone from the 50s, but it's somebody that they chose and they want to research. The next being that we're going to talk about is extension, which is just extending your lesson. This is a project that allows students to delve deeper into their subject that they were just taught, and both can be done in groups or individually. It depends on how you feel and what's best for your students. The closure is going to be where the teacher and the students revisit the objectives, and as you design your lesson plan, you should ask how you can encourage further inquiry regarding the topic of your lesson. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you now know how to create a lesson plan and what should be on your lesson plan. Thank you.